loves, it's Lou here and welcome back to the annual book recap. I don't know. A recap of the books I read in 2024. And I am really excited because this is the first time I'm actually doing this, and this year has been a really great year for readings and my collection has expanded a lot. So without any further ado, let's get into our reading recap. So I'm gonna be starting with my opinion on the books I have read this year, and then in the end I'm gonna tell the total number of books I read, to keep that suspense on, So let's start with the first book I read this year, which was 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵. What do I have to say about this book? It was a book that I was reading in 2023 and then this year, and I did not like it. I bought it accidentally because of the cover, and it was a mistake because this book has too much spicy. Alright, that's like my only issue with this book, because the rest of it, it's actually a great and nice story. The characters are really amazing, but the thing that I hated about this book is the spice. Like literally the spice. So in the end, I'm gonna have to rate it a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read these 3 books, which are really short books that you can read. They're Portuguese, Portugal. Yes, Portugal. And are basically a rebranding of an original story that this author had already made. This is basically about a girl who goes to a private college and the things that happen in a private college. Private college shenanigans. I like the books, but this, I believe, is from a phase where, I used to be a little girl and dream of reading a lot of books. I think this kind of story is not for me anymore. I'm not gonna be writing more books of this collection. That's my final verdict. But in the end, I'll give these books 3 out of 5 stars because, they're nostalgic and they're a big part of my childhood. Then another 2 books that I read was Mega Complicated Crushes of Floaty Books by Katie Kirby and Lodi Brooks' Totally Disastrous School Trip. These books are really funny, and if you're a parent and want your kid to read more, buy them these books. Like for real, just buy them. And the illustrations are kind of funny and are relatable. And the things that happen here are absolutely incredible and are a great portrayal of preteen life. So I'm gonna rank these books at 4 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna show you 2 books that are from my mom and I read it. Because yes, this one is called 5 Colors of the Orange by Joanne Harris, and I absolutely loved it. It's about a woman who tells her story of her childhood during the WW2 occupied France, and she falls in love with a German soldier. It's a nice romance story. So this one is a definite 5 out of 5. I'd say that this is more for advanced readers than to read a lot because the pages are just very long. Look at this. This is whole page of this. This one is called, I don't know the fucking title of it, but 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵𝓸. What is this? What is this? Like what is? It's basically like feminism, just feminism. I don't really know how to explain the story of this because it was a lot different. We have a lot of women, even women for like older ancient times. But I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Now we're gonna take another intermission and go into Portuguese books I absolutely love. Let's start with the ones I read for school. These were the 3. The first one is 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵𝓸 by Frost Cruz. It's basically a story about a guy's life. Yeah, it's a really complex story. I don't know how to explain it. It was supposed to be for school projects, and I ended up presenting it. In the end, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars because there are some things that are weird, but some parts of the books are really cute and nice, and also has illustrations which are amazing. Next one is called 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵 by 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵. I read this book. I never did the fucking presentation. I was supposed to do a presentation, but never did it. This is basically about a life of soldier. Like, I don't know, a life of a guy, a rich guy in the 5th century? I don't know. I give this like 3 stars because this is in old Portuguese and
I hate old Portuguese. Old Portuguese is shit.
Next one, we have my most Portuguese read that I did, which is 𝓗𝓸𝓬𝓮𝓼, which is a classic for Portuguese literature. It's basically a story. When you die, you have to go either in 2 boats, the boat for hell and the boat for heaven. And we see a lot of social classes go into the boats. I don't know how to explain this. I should know how to explain this. It's definitely kind of a boring book. The only good part about this was the clown scene. But like, I think you have to first be dumb, first be immature, and first to 100% Portuguese really good. I give this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now for the 2 Portuguese books that I read on my own, we have the first one, which is called 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵𝓿 by 𝓗𝓮𝓵. And if I had to describe this book in one word, it would be LGBT. The story was kind of boring because I could already guess what was gonna happen in the end, and the story had a lot of POV changes across the book, and so it was really confusing. So I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. Now for my favorite one of the year, say o teu nome. Please, guys, learn Portuguese for this book. This is basically an enemies to lovers slow burn, and I love it so much. I recommend you to read it a lot. It doesn't have a lot of spice. It only has like 1 scene of spice, and that's it. I read it with my friends during summer, and it was one of the best experiences I had in my life. So this book was a 5 out of 5 stars. Now for books that I have reread this year, first the Harry Potter book, because yeah, I decided to give it a chance, Maybe next year I'll buy the 2nd book or borrow it from my friend, honestly. It was really nice. It's just a classic, 4 out of 5 stars. I think I don't need to explain the story because you should already know it. And this one is a childhood classic. It's called 𝓗𝓵𝓸𝓿𝓮𝓼 film by 𝓗𝓵𝓵𝓸𝓿. There's actually an English version to it, which is really, really nice. It's a story about a teenager and her life and her love life, friends to lovers, friends to lovers. And now we're talking about 𝓗𝓵𝓵𝓸𝓿. I also read this book, which she just released this year, which is 𝓗𝓵𝓵𝓸𝓿, which is another book series that she has done. It's kind of okay. I think the only premise of this is having New York. This is a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And now we're getting into my favorite book section. Good Girls Guide to Murder! This was one of my favorite series of this year. If I had to rank the 3 books, I'll definitely put the first in first place, the third in second place, and the second in third place. I think I don't need to explain the whole story, but it was really nice to read, especially the third one. All the things that happened in this book, I did not expect, and it was more of a serious book, and I really liked it. I also read this year a classic, which is Little Woman. I think I don't need to explain the history of this book, but it was a really nice story about resilience and strength between sisters, and I think some of the values shared in this book could be, applied to my daily life. This was a 4 out of 5 stars. Obviously, books I read was Love and Luck and Love and Olive. I definitely say that these two aren't better than the first one. The first one, Love and Gelato, is the best of all time. Love and Santorini, I think, was too descriptive, but yeah, it was kind of boring, and I think I got it in a reading slump because of this, so I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. But then Love and Luck was also the same thing, but less descriptive. And I like the story of having to go a full path and having to learn to deal with love. This is definitely a 4 out of 5 stars. And now for my 2 favorite collection of this year. Next selection, I absolutely love it. I don't have the second one book I bought from my friend, but this is an amazing collection. First things first, this is set in the future. You know, I absolutely loved it. It's amazing, and it's a romance, which makes it even better. And the characters are so well built in these books. It's amazing, and I absolutely love it. So this is definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. The Inheritance Games. I wasn't so sure if I was gonna read this book, but I read it and it was amazing. I absolutely love the love triangle. Do me a favor and read this book. The books are incredible. Go read them. Go read them. Go read them. The book I'm reading right now is 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓼, a violin painter, and I don't want to be a pessimist, but I think it has put me in a reading slump. I love the love dynamic between Liz and Wes, and they are so good together. I don't know, it's like they understand that she love Wes, you know, but it was amazing. So this is a 4 out of 5 stars, really cute book. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the rest. And now for the section of books that I borrowed from my friend, we are gonna have to talk about The Fault in Our Stars. I love that book. It was amazing. 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. We have 5 Feet Apart, which also I loved. I cried so much when I forgot his name, but when he died, I cried so much. And the final of the book is really good. Last book I read was One of Us Is Next. That was a thriller that I absolutely loved. A plot twist I wasn't expecting, right? I wasn't expecting. And yeah, I just love the story about it. I'm definitely gonna have to read the second book next year, but I think it's definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. Really great, really nice. Now, the number of books that I read this year was 30! Yes, that's right, 30 books. That's the double of the books I read last year. I am so proud of myself for reading this amount of books. I'm just so happy to have read a lot of books, and I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to have such access to this kind of knowledge. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to watch my first video so you get to know a little bit about me. And without any further ado, have an amazing 2025 and a Merry Christmas. That's all I have to say. Goodbye. Lou signing off.